morning. Today is the 28th of June, which makes it the last day of my first 3 months out here. I am actually holding the camera with the other hand, although something's going on here. That's better. I'm holding the camera with a different hand today because my foot is so painful. I actually can't quite walk properly or even hobble properly down this hill. I don't know what it is. If I had to describe how it feels as though someone much stronger than myself has tied my shoelaces. It's like the shoelaces have been tied way too tight across the top of my foot, so every time I step and my foot rolls forward, it crunches up against those super tight laces and just sort of crushes my foot. That's what it feels like. Obviously my laces are not tied too tightly, they're actually basically not even tied at all on that foot, just to try and allow it to move. But yeah, it's a little excruciating this morning. I'm hoping it warms up and at least lets me walk a little more normally, because it feels like the more I hobble, the worse it gets. The more I can sort of force it to walk normally. If I just walk through the pain and try and make it move normally, it actually ends up hurting less in the long run, I think. But there's also no strength behind it, so whenever it rolls slightly or has to take more load because of the uneven terrain or something, it just buckles and just, yeah. On the plus side, it's only 35 miles to Lake Town, or 50 kilometres, so I'm only going to do this for 35 miles or 50 kilometres, and then I can get out here and see if I kill a mosquito. The other downside is, because I'm moving so much slower, I'm not outrunning the mosquitoes at the moment. So, not a great start to the last day of month 3 out here, if I'm honest. I did pull up around just over 20 miles last night, camped early, there was a nice little sort of camping area and fire rings and some good people around, and it I had a look and there didn't seem to be much to get excited about in the next 5 or 6 miles. So yeah, I just decided to call it early and rest and enjoy a night sitting around the fire, which was really good. It's kind of bittersweet that I woke up in such pain this morning. I also learned a little tricks for my tent, which gives me so much more room inside, headroom and foot room inside. Basically just using sticks on one of the tie outs to tie it so that it pull the tent up and then down rather than straight out. And it was a cool trick to learn, because it means my sleeping bag doesn't get wet as much at night anymore, which would be great for Washington when it starts raining, if I make it to Washington, which at this stage got some pretty negative thoughts creeping into my head about this foot thing, because it's been, I guess I heard it somewhere in northern Yosemite just after Tuolumne Meadows, so somewhere around that 1,000-mile mark or just before it. I'm now at about 11:20, so 120 miles on it. I did take some time and spent a lot of time in Tahoe with my foot elevated with ice packs on it, just laying in bed, and it certainly improved. But the uneven terrain and the rocky terrain out here very quickly brought it back to a very unhappy place. I was also hoping somehow it had something to do with my old shoes being worn out. I hoped the new shoes would help, but they have not. So yeah, for now I guess I'm going to keep walking through because there's nothing else to do. It is quite nice, all these purple flowers. I don't know if they're lavender or not, but there are pretty purple flowers and yellow and red, and actually there's a lot of flowers. Everything's flowering at the moment, so it's quite pretty The camera catches it. Doesn't really do it any justice, but it's quite scenic, just painful. So I'm going to leave it there for now and go back to using 2 poles to try and hobble down this trail. And hopefully, somehow, miraculously, things will improve. Alright. So after a couple of hours of thinking and walking, I'm now walking mostly hobble free, though I'm still very much aware of the pain. I would say it's gone from about an 8 out of 10 down to about a 3. Now it's warmed up. However, I know from the last week or two of walking this thing, once you do stop, once you cool down, you gotta start all over again. So the current line, dirt bikes. I was wondering what that roar was. So the current line of thought is, because I've had this for about 150 miles now, and it even took a few days in Tahoe hoping it to get better, and it didn't. I'm thinking it's not going to let me walk another 1,500 miles without doing something about it. So the immediate decision point is there's actually a trailhead in another 2.5 miles from where I am, where I could hitch from there down to Truckee, or probably back to South Lake Tahoe. I'll probably go Truckee though. So the line of thought is probably hitch in there. Well, the decision is I either hike an extra from there, it'll be 29 miles, and then hitch into Truckee probably tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening by the time I get there with my new slow pace. Although I don't really gain a lot by doing that other than a slightly easier hitch out of Truckee when the time comes. Alternatively, the option I'm leaning toward is in 2.5 miles hitching from that trailhead at Barker Pass car park and heading down to Truckee and trying to see, I'll have to speak to my travel insurance first, I guess, but hopefully like a physio or something, or a podiatrist maybe, or some kind of injury person, or depending on what the travel insurance says, probably a doctor first and then maybe one of those. Thinking I would allow up to a week or so for it to get better. If it was going to require more than that, the rather drastic action my brain is going to would be to head back to Vancouver, take about a month off, really get it better, and then head south from Harts Pass, or from the northern terminus, head south. The logic there being that the biggest obstacles for doing the PCT and the timing of it is basically the snow in the Sierra and the snow in Washington. I've already done the Sierra, so that's one major obstacle out of the way. The other is getting shut out of Washington in late September by snow. However, if I took a month off and my foot was 100%, I'll be heading through Washington in late July, early August when it's clear. So I'll be well and truly south before the weather even thinks about turning nasty. And I don't know, but I think Northern Cali would remain clear of snow. So the area I'm in now would remain clear of snow until quite late. I know they say September, October in the Sierra starts to get dicey late September into October in the Sierras when it's going to start snowing. But I'm a bit north of that now and at a much lower elevation, so I'm pretty sure I could skate through into maybe October, late October, maybe early November. I would have to definitely look into that. But that's probably the worst case scenario at the moment, would be having to take that action. But you know, if I only had a couple hundred miles to go, I'd just hobble it out. But with 1,500 and something miles to go, I don't think just continuing to push a foot which does not want to be pushed and is not getting better on its own. I mean, remarkable. Like, you think that an injured foot would get better when you hike 20 miles a day on it, because why wouldn't it? But yeah, I don't think that's the best option. So we'll see. So unfortunately, the Barker Pass trailhead behind me here isn't quite the hustling and bustling hive of activity I was hoping for. As you can see, it's deserted, which makes it a pretty tough hitch. It's actually even a dirt road, so it's not a major pass, not a major trailhead, not by a long shot. So it looks like there goes my hitching into town and getting it looked at today, or anytime soon, because I've got 29 miles to go now, and I'll be probably lucky to get that done by tomorrow evening. So yeah, bugger.